Come on, Jenica, we're gonna be late for All Systems Go.
I'm going!
Excuse me, we need to get inside.
Oh, thank goodness you're here.
What?
I've been struggling with this puzzle for the past 3 hours, and I could really use some help.
No, we don't have time for a riddle.
We've got to be at our show. All systems go!
All systems go? That reminds me of a puzzle.
No puzzles. We've got to get inside.
Oh, but I want to solve
Are you
it.
serious right now?
We can do it quickly.
Fine. So what's this puzzle anyways?
I need help ranking the Professor Layton games.
Oh, we can help with that.
Are you sure this won't take too much time?
I swear. Well, my name isn't Jenica, just leave it to me.
That isn't your name. Since its release in 2007, the Professor Layton franchise has enjoyed 6 main games, a movie, an anime series, a mobile spin-off, a crossover with the Ace Attorney series, a manga, and another spin-off featuring Layton's daughter.
In the games, you play as Professor Layton and his apprentice Luke as they solve puzzles, uncover mysteries, and attempt to rationally explain the wildest shit you've ever seen.
Today, we'll be helping this totally random stranger by ranking the 6 main games in the series.
And we'll do it without using a single hint coin, or looking up a walkthrough on Google.
Number 6, The Last Spectre. I'd like to emphasize that every one of the 6 main games is worth playing. That being said, at the bottom of our list is The Last Spectre. This game was the first of 3 prequel titles, and it explains how Layton and Luke came to meet. It also introduces another recurring character, Layton's assistant, Emmy. While the puzzles are still pretty good in this game, The Last Spectre was the final 2D installment into the Layton universe, and there wasn't much room for innovation. The minigames are kinda meh, and Luke's character is just ridiculously angsty. Seriously, someone take this kid to Hot Topic or something. This game also has the most forgettable plotline in the entire series. I can't even remember what the twist ending was supposed to be. However, one of the more enjoyable features of this game was the inclusion of London Life, an RPG-styled bonus game that adds over 100 hours of gameplay to the title.
Number 5, Azran Legacy. Azran Legacy is the last game in the main series. It follows Layton, Luke, and Emmy as they travel around the world to uncover the mystery behind the ancient civilization called the Azran. Out of all the games, Azran Legacy has the most fantastical plotline and features the largest variety of locations. There are locations around the globe that the player can travel to in any order. However, this might have worked to the game's detriment. Since each location has its own self-contained plot, many players felt like the story dragged and that the payoff at the end just wasn't a good enough conclusion for the final game in the series. There's also a twist villain reveal at the end, and honestly, I haven't seen a more jarring and ridiculous villain reveal since Frozen debuted. Plot issues aside, Azran Legacy has a lot of the charm that was present in the original 3 games. The puzzles felt fun and innovative, and the art in this game was among my favorite in the entire series.
Number 4, Miracle Mask. In Miracle Mask, Layton, Luke, and Emmy head to a Las Vegas-inspired city to stop the Masked Gentleman, a strange magician who has been causing all sorts of havoc, like turning people into horses or statues. Miracle Mask was the very first Layton game to make use of a 3D landscape, and oh boy does it show! The character models are clunky, the environments lack their usual artistic magic, and several of the puzzles struggle to make full use of the added dimension. That said, the 3D universe was a huge innovation, and it paved the way for a lot of new features to be explored, such as the updated magnifying glass that lets you explore the environment more intuitively, and the more fluidly animated backgrounds and characters. Out of all the Layton games, Miracle Mask has one of the best and most recognizable soundtracks. The music is grand and perfectly fits the carnival-like setting of the game. Unfortunately, the plot of Miracle Mask is pretty boring, and you can guess the twist ending from a mile away.
Number 3, Unwound Future. In Unwound Future, Layton and Luke travel forward through time to a futuristic and dystopian version of London, where the main villain is Professor Layton? Unwound Future was the final installment of the original 3-game series and is often considered the best Professor Layton game by critics. So putting it at number 3 on this list is definitely a controversial take. Don't get me wrong, Unwound Future has one of the best plots in the series, and the ending is guaranteed to pull at the heartstrings. Navigating between the past and the present provides an interesting mechanic to the gameplay, and the introduction of puzzle battles was a great addition to the series. Super hints also made the game much easier to complete without outside help. However, other than that, the game doesn't do much to innovate. Puzzle battles are pretty much just regular puzzles with cooler music in the background, and with super hints, the game almost becomes a little too easy. The plot twist at the end is a little contrived, and it's one of the only times where I lost my suspension of disbelief while playing a Professor Layton game.
Number 2, Curious Village. The Curious Village was the first game in the Professor Layton series. It follows Layton and Luke as they navigate St. Mystere in an attempt to find the Golden Apple, a highly sought-after key to a massive inheritance. The strongest part of this game, other than the puzzles themselves, is the fascinating plot. The twist ending in Curious Village is probably the best executed twist in the entire series. By the way, this is the only game in the series that actually gives an explanation as to why every NPC seems to be obsessed with telling riddles to random strangers. The minigames are also really fun, especially the end minigame. The plot is fairly self-contained, and there aren't many places to be explored. The puzzles in this game are also among the most difficult in the entire series. Because it's the first title, there are also some aspects of the game that fall short compared to the newer titles, such as the lack of a memo feature, the limited artwork, and the comparative absence of variety in puzzles. Regardless, Curious Village created the formula for an amazing series, and without it, none of these games would have even existed.
Number 1, Diabolical Box. At our number 1 spot on the list is Diabolical Box. The second ever installment into the Professor Layton universe has everything you could ever want in a video game. A magical box that kills whoever opens it, a train adventure, a vampire, and a grown man masquerading as a prepubescent girl. If Curious Village created the formula, then Diabolical Box perfected it. Diabolical Box is a masterpiece, from the excellent plot, to the heartbreaking twist, to the variety of puzzles. Diabolical Box set the standard for art and music in the Professor Layton games, and included new features such as visual distinctions between regular dialogues and puzzle dialogues, and the memo feature. The puzzles in Diabolical Box make more innovative uses of the DS's touchscreen, and the story strikes the perfect balance between fantastical and self-contained.
That should do it.
Every puzzle has an answer.
Wow, thank you so much for your help. Who knows how long I would have been working on that otherwise.
So, can we go in now?
Sure!
Thank God.